At the bottom line, the question is, does this behavior, does this person's response, whatever it might be, constitute justification for me abandoning my peace, my joy, and the lift of the inspiration and the truth that I'm experiencing, and a body that's at peace and isn't reporting back to me tension and lack of ease and dis-ease? Does this behavior justify my giving up my being innocent, my being unconflicted, my being in harmony with existence? And if you decide that the hit of getting justice or succeeding in seeing to it that they receive your gift, then go ahead and do it. But understand why you're not happy, why you are feeling angry, why you're feeling bitter about their unwillingness to receive your love, and are in turmoil yourself. Understand why you're experiencing that. It's not because they won't receive it, but because you're not intelligent enough not to recognize the game and not take the bait. There's a lot more peace to being an attractive nuisance that just sits there being attractive because there is inspiration there, because there is something that's recognizably of value. And you stay in your peace like the guru that sits at the top of the mountain and makes everybody come thousands of miles and climb thousands of feet to talk to them. Okay. Over here.
Hi, Raj.
Good afternoon.
Well, after what you said, I haven't got the courage to ask my lack question, so I'm not going to ask it. But it did formulate some thoughts.
Are you baiting me?
Yeah, probably, knowing myself.
I'm not going to say, tell me.
No, I know you're not. Maybe I'll get it in somehow.
Maybe you will.
Yeah. Anyway, I got to thinking about the divinity that we are and what we're doing here. And so I saw this progression of a question.
What do you mean, what we're doing here? Where else is there to be? And
well, if we're birthed from a
the question is, why am I?
Well, the question
not
is,
why am I here?
Okay, I get you there. I guess what I need in this progression of a question is why? What's the purpose of being in this experience? If I was birthed from a source to become self-aware, and I'm experiencing self-awareness and the divinity in me is asleep, or I'm not aware of it, or I have times that I'm aware of it, and I'm going to speak in terms of here, there. And there are gifts in here that I can use in this, I'm going to call it a womb, a reality that has its own rules. What's the purpose? I mean, am I to wake up the divinity, individuate, and move into a more natural universe? I can't not talk about, I'm talking about duality, but this place as opposed to another universe. This just seems like a question that's coming more from my heart rather than my collective lack mentality. So maybe you could enlighten me.
Well, when you say this place, if we were typing it, it could be this place with a small p or this place with a capital P.
Yeah.
If it's this place with a small p, then there can be a lot of other places with small p's. But if it's this place with a capital P, it means that this place is the ultimate right now. Whether it's being seen as a capital P place or a small p place. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
This place is not geographic or a location in a star system or a universe. The only place there is consciousness, is the experience of being mind. That's the place you're in. And it's the place that is you. The experience of universe or galaxy or Earth is occurring in your conscious awareness. It's not a place you're in. It's a place that's in you as a conscious experience of a divine idea. I'm going to put it that way. Now, why are you here? If here refers to a universe and a location that has space-time coordinates, then you're not identifying yourself as consciousness, but as another entity with space-time coordinates called a body in the middle of a physical universe. Then you can easily figure that you have a purpose to fulfill, or one that you're failing at fulfilling. And you can even, you see, because you can't forget about the divinity of your being, one that even involves your being a divine force for good in this space-time coordinate place. But all of this has the attention in the wrong place. It's ignoring yourself as the conscious awareness in which space and time seem to be being experienced. Now, why are you in the place, and why are you the capital P place that is consciousness in which all of creation seems to reside and is experienced? Because you are the mind which is God, presencing itself as you, and your purpose is to recognize God in all of it. Which means that when that happens, when you let that shift occur, you won't go to some other universe, to some other space-time coordinate, but you will find yourself, for lack of better words, feeling as though you are becoming huge. That you are the place in which all of creation is. And it's all some aspect of the infinitude of you, because it's all the infinitude of God. And your function, your purpose, is to be the witness for what God is being. The purpose of the infinite divine mind is to be that which acknowledges and recognizes all that the infinite mind that God is being. Your function or purpose is to recognize God in all of creation. Not as some puny little entity in the middle of creation, but as that mind in which all of creation is present, because your mind has no coordinates. I mean that. You are giving highly focused attention to some small part of the infinitude of you, and you're calling it this galaxy and this planet, and you're calling yourself a body that was born into it and can die out of it or ascend out of it. And as I've said before, the ultimate result of that is that your attention isn't where you are because you think there's someone somewhere else to be that's better, or somewhere else that you will be when you have grown enough spiritually to wake up. When all that will happen is that your mind will become consciously aware of the universe, if you will, of creation with a capital C, as that which fills you as the conscious experience of capital B being, as the conscious experience and recognition of creation, and therefore as you inseparable from God, who is the reason you're conscious and whose mind itself has been God's gift to you. I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it. You must bring your attention and your curiosity to the place in the middle of this universe that you seem to be, and to yourself in the middle of this universe that you seem to be, and you must be willing to look at it with new eyes, to see God in it. And inevitably, you're bringing your attention to where God is present to be recognized, because it's not really a place, small p, but the capital P place. You will find this expansion spontaneously happening, where it becomes more and more obvious to you that you are the location of the universe. Not this body, but you, consciousness, are the location of all of the infinite ideas of God that look like leaves and tables and trees and eyes and hair and so on. When that happens, all of the apparently material accompaniments to form, to space-time coordinates, will disappear. And the divinity of the idea that each one is the manifestation or the visibility of will become apparent to you in its utter, pure, benign, innocent perfection. And you will recognize yourself in it. You will say, wow, it's all me. I am all of it. And the word I won't be the important part of the sentence. All of it will be the important part of the sentence. And it's when the I becomes the least important part of the sentence that you become what's called a co-creator with God. Why? Because you are allowing God to be the movement of creation, and you are no longer holding yourself in your mind apart from that as a recipient of it, but as the acknowledgement of it. You see? This little space-time coordinate called you is never going to advance to become more than it is and suddenly flash out from this universe to another one. What you're identifying as you is going to shift from that coordinate to the mind in which that coordinate is being experienced. And then all of the infinite coordinates that could be mapped will become irrelevant in the conscious experience of infinite wholeness that you are experiencing. And you will glory, you might say, in the acknowledgement of God, in the awesome experience of God in everything. And that will become the new meaning of the word I. The coordinates will not disappear, but the vantage point of wholeness and the joy of the experience of it without any division or separation being experienced about it will be what replaces the old definition that you had given to the word I. The place you're looking for is in you. You're not in it. And you have no purpose as something in it. And you never will find any purpose in it. Okay?
Thank you, Raj.
You are welcome. Yes.
I've been meditating seriously for a few years, and I've had about 5 experiences where I heard like a clear message, but most of the time I don't feel like I'm getting much. And once I was sitting on my porch in the evening, I was meditating, and it seemed like something came to me like a body, a person. And before I knew what I was doing, I just flashed open my eyes and said, "What's your name?" And sort of warbled through, but it seemed like I said Joshua or Joshua or something. And later I learned that Joshua or Yeshua is the Hebrew derivation of Jesus. So I'm meditating a lot, and I'm trying to either contact Jesus or I'm trying to contact my guide. And about the 5 times I've been spoken to over a period of 10 years, I don't know who it is, but it always seemed to me like it was Jesus based on our talks, conversations with Raj many years ago. And so I wanted a 2-part question. One, did I experience some apparition? Was that Jesus? And secondly,
It was not an apparition.
Oh, it was like an invisible body. Okay.
You were seeing energy.
Yeah, I felt it.
Without material accompaniments.
I'm just wondering, when I meditate, would it be more wiser or more practical to try to commune directly with Jesus or try to commune directly with that entity that I'm conceiving of as my guide?
Why don't you just let either one of us come?
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. You are welcome.
I'm done. Thanks a lot.
Hands. Right here.
On your last question, you were talking about going in, and the universe is inside of you. My question is about...
Well, it is in your mind, and your mind is not in your body.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm making that distinction because I don't want you to think like you're going into your heart center. I don't want your attention to sort of go inside a form.
Okay.
You really do not think that your mind is in your head. You don't.
Right.
Some people do, but you don't. And so it's going to be easier for you to unlimit yourself by being aware that where you're going to is not a place that has dimensions, size. There may be ignorances where you feel like you've come to the end of what you know, but that doesn't mean you've come to the end of your mind.
Okay.
Continue.
So my question's about duality. I'm curious, I'm learning about a teacher that I've had over the past couple of years has said duality is one of the greatest gifts you can get, so you can have contact with other people and to see the God in them. And you were just talking about brotherhood and sisterhood and giving love to your brothers and sisters, to know your own self. My mind gets confused on the duality as opposed to going in to the universe. And
indeed it should be confused.
And I'm just not quite getting why duality is such a great gift when we're trying to learn that
You have a lot of
everything is
good
God.
common sense. Duality is not a gift. Duality is conflict. Duality is opposing forces. Duality is this and not this. That itself is what causes you not to see reality as it is, or to see the kingdom of heaven right where you are. Because you have this, and this is not the kingdom of heaven. And so you have is and is not. You see? What I was describing a moment ago was the emergence into an infinite experience of consciousness in which you can look at everything and say, oh, I am that. That is me. And you know that you're referring to can look at you and say, I am that. That is me. And so it is an infinite experience of singularity. You see what I'm saying? Duality is not a gift. It is the very word that illustrates or gives definition to opposition, protagonists, is and is not. I'm very glad that it's confusing to you, the idea that duality is a gift. Duality is something which steals something from you. It takes away your capacity to see unity where unity is, oneness where oneness is. But you must understand that the oneness of God is infinite. It's the infinite experience of divine ideas. Because that which is responsible for your existence is an infinite mind. In order for that infinite mind to be conscious, it must be conscious of something. And so the moment, if you want to imagine that God came into existence and wasn't forever, then the moment the infinite mind of God came into existence, there was instantaneously that which provided the experience of being conscious. In other words, creation. Except there was never a beginning to God. So creation is, for lack of better words, an infinite experience of diversity. And yet it's all one. And every atom, if you will, every point of the energy of spirit in creation recognizes itself in every other point of divine energy that constitutes creation. When you recognize a connection with another, where the two of you seem to be like one, whether it's a lover or whether it's a best friend, where you don't even hardly have to talk to each other because you know what each other is thinking, and you recognize yourself in them. You see what I'm saying? You're not estranged from them. They are not strangers to you. That's just a little taste of what I'm talking about. The two of you don't disappear, but you feel no just a moment. You feel no peculiar differences between you. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You see, the gift of love to another, the willingness, as I spoke of in the beginning, to lower your shield, your defenses, in order to extend love to another, in order to reduce their feeling that they must be defended against you, is the very means you have to break the sense or the experience of duality, me and not me, so that you and your brother or your sister have the opportunity to recognize yourselves in each other. Not because you're going to meld into a single blob of undifferentiated goo or clouds or whatever, but because you're not withholding yourselves from each other. And in that, there is the experience of connection and sharing